Heyo and welcome to the Planet Plipcam channel, where today I'm going to be covering the subject of Planet Zoo Console Edition. I can't wait to get into this video because I'm so excited for this game to come out. Why do I actually think it will come out? I'm going to touch on that later on in the video. When do I think it will come out? And what can we learn from Planet Coaster Console Edition, which I have lots of experience with now, and what can we expect for them to bring over with experience into the Planet Zoo version of the game. I'm a huge fan of Frontier developments, and I was in awe of Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo when they were both on the PC. I couldn't wait to get my hands on the Planet Coaster Console Edition of the game to be so creative with the pieces, and now it might be the turn of Planet Zoo to come to console, and now I'm going to be touching on that in this video. So that I can hopefully make this video into the most digestible as possible, I would like to split it into sections. So first I'm going to touch on why I expect this game to come to console. There's no point thinking when it might come out if we don't think it's going to come out in the first place. So now I'm going to give you my reasons of why I think Planet Zoo Console Edition will be a thing in the near future. After the success of Planet Coaster Console Edition, where Frontier were able to broaden their horizons onto a different platform and get another income source, I can only see them taking advantage from another of their successful games in its own right. Planet Coaster will provide such a good basis for Frontier to learn from, with most importantly them bringing across the large number of controls onto a controller so successfully, which has really helped me, get hooked into my first creative game of this scale. And not only was the gamepad easy to pick up and play, Frontier did very well in allowing keyboard and mouse support, which I know many console players have now actually chosen over the controller. And this has given the game a versatile kind of style of play where you can relax in front of a big screen or sit down to gain more accuracy with keyboard and mouse. And I'm sure Frontier would carry over this success to Planet Zoo Console Edition, as it makes things such as typing and Planet Coaster smoothing, the coaster smoothing, so much easier. And I'm now at a point where I think that Planet Coaster controls, I know them better than any other game. I can pick up a controller, close my eyes and play the game. And I definitely think that the same success could be found on a Planet Zoo Console Edition of the game. On this channel I cover all things Planet Coaster Console Edition, whether it be speed builds in my different park series, showcases and tutorials, and I can't wait to get into Planet Zoo Console Edition to inspire you hopefully with my builds and also help you and showcase your different talented builds. I can't wait for this game to come out, and hopefully you'll subscribe to this channel and I hope that you enjoy them. So thank you very much for that. So as Planet Coaster console players, we've had to realise that the PC version is kind of superior to this version of the game. We do have build limits, we don't have the TMTK, many different things that we miss out on the Planet Coaster console version of the game. But I do understand in most places the reasons for this, in most cases as I say, but the hot topic amongst the community has always been the build limit, which has restricted some to really small parks and resulted in rather angry comments towards Frontier as they dropped the news close to the release before some more backlash when it was announced the game would be available on the Xbox Game Pass. And whilst this expanded the community significantly, it really did frustrate many to a point where I'm sure Frontier will learn from these events. Whilst I would still expect the build limit to be around for Planet Zoo console, it would be welcome for there to be maybe a recommended limit which could be passed at the player's acceptance that their game might, start to crash or decrease in performance. However, I could really see this creating more anger when people find the game crashing and losing progress, and it would be very interesting to see if this game would be playable on last gen consoles, because we know that they had about 30% less build limit, and if it would maybe only be released on next gen consoles. But whilst there would be no more constant processing power needed to have coasters and rides moving around, there's still Planet Zoo. It brings a whole new kind of dynamic to these kind of games. It's kind of an equally taxing in the form of moving animals in their habitats, not to mention the vast improvements in surface textures and the addition of weather that we would expect to see in this game, unless they remove that, which would really anger quite a few people, including myself. The other main omission to Planet Coaster Console Edition was there was no customizable audio, no customizable billboards. At one point it was really annoying when we got a parabolic screen that was meant to move around and immerse you in a video. They didn't give us that. That felt really lazy from Frontier. I'm always crediting them, but in that case I was quite annoyed at that, especially when you're selling it in a DLC. But yeah, really disappointing for that, but I would expect the same thing with Planet Zoo Console Edition. It would be a shame to not be able to do that, as you can really immerse yourself in the game then. You can place your park in different areas of the world, You can really create detailed signs for different animals, and certainly when it is animals, we do want to be creating our own fact sheets or whatever. If we do that on Photoshop or software like that, it will be so much fun to do that on the console. And I'm sure on games like Online GTA, they've managed to do that on consoles, where you can bring over your own images and insert them into the game. So maybe on the Xbox, whether that would be through OneDrive. I just hope, that is my number one wish from Frontier, is that they really do nail down getting in the customizable billboards. Never mind the audio, maybe that would be a bit more difficult. Billboards are the number one omission for me from Planet Coaster, that what I would love to see on the console edition. So bring it over to Planet Zoo would be just amazing. Let me know down in the comments what you think they might cut from Planet Zoo console edition. It'd be so annoying to get all the different things cut away that we saw with Planet Coaster. But what are you looking forward to? I'd love to see you down in the comments. I love all your comments. I try to, well, I always reply to all of them. Let me know down in the comment section below. And I'm sure that the main question you're asking yourselves is when we can expect to see Planet Zoo Console Edition. So when looking at the habits of Frontier, they have very short release windows, especially with DLCs, where you'll hear about the news and then within 2 or 3 days, you will have the access to those DLCs. And in terms of game releases, Frontier seem to like to release around November time, in time for the Christmas holiday period, which we are seeing this year, and what I see to be their main game of the year in Jurassic World Evolution 2. The details for that say late 2021, and of course we're already deep into trailers and dev diaries, which you get on YouTube and everything, starting around a month ago now. So I think that it's highly unlikely that we'll see Planet Zoo released this year, but we also have to look at whether Frontier are actually ready to bring their attention to console just yet. With what many believe to be the last few DLCs being rolled out into the PC version of the game, it would make sense for it to end its proper support this year, just like Planet Coaster did. But again, this later release can be seen in a positive light, because although we will get it later, it will also result in a more rounded and complete game port for us when we do get it. But when looking at Planet Coaster on PC, we learned that the PC game came to the end of its full support in mid-2019, and the console release came winter 2020, so a 4-year gap between the two versions would suggest that we would have a while to wait for Zoo. But I believe that with the infrastructure now that they have put in with the Frontier Workshop, which needs to be cross-platform by the way if you're listening Frontier, but they can bring the game to console sooner, I think, just because of that. It would make sense that this 2 year of crazy support for Planco on PC would mirror over onto Zoo on PC, and that's coming up to the end of this year. So I think that we will see Planet Zoo released onto console late 2022. So that of course is just a guess using all of the different info that we have, looking at the trends of Frontier over the past few years. But one thing that I do really hope will be that Frontier will release it on the Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5 along with the last gen consoles, because I think that would really expand the community even further. I know there's lots of people who will have never thought about playing Planet Coaster and really want to play Planet Zoo, so thank you very much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate a like on this video if you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything else you'd like me to touch on for Planet Zoo, any other speculation you'd like me to go into in more detail. Make sure you subscribe for more Planet Coaster console content for now, and more Planet Zoo speculation content. Hopefully we can do proper Planet Zoo console videos in the future, which I'm so excited for. Hopefully we get this game. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.